Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about two different articles actually that are basically kind of intertwined and related in a way. The first one talks about BioShock creator Ken Levine. He explains why violent video games are so violent. He gave some quotes to NPR that say, one of the reasons there's been a lot of violence in video games is because it's relatively easy to simulate, and generally it's been like action movies, there's an easily perceivable market for it. He goes on to say, I think the reaction to the violence is more an expression of people building confidence in the industry's ability to express itself in more diverse fashions. They also say that it's true that action movies have a definite marketing target just like video games. And below all that it says that a lot of people had an issue with the violence in BioShock Infinite, that a lot of gamers complained that maybe the game did not need to be as violent as it was. And the example that they give is the skyhook, which if any of you have ever played BioShock Infinite, then you remember toward the beginning, like the first kill that you get is by jamming the skyhook into a dude's face, and it's pretty gruesome to watch, to be honest with you. It feels more violent than shooting a guy in the face. It's kind of, I guess it is to some extent. I don't know. I guess that's up for you to decide. It definitely did bring the intensity into the game very quickly. And the other article that I want to touch on, which is actually very similar, actually has the title, Violent Video Games May Actually Increase Players' Sensitivity. Now, this is, I'm not going to go through here and read this whole article, but one quote says, this may, as it does in real life, provoke players to engage in voluntary behavior that benefits others. Our findings suggest that emotional experiences evoked by media exposure can increase the intuitive foundations upon which human beings make moral judgments. Now, this is an interesting, just the title of this is interesting to me alone, because it seems like as I've gotten older, violent video games have disturbed me more. It's kind of a strange thing to think about. Like Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X, whatever you want to call it, is a good example. I've seen reactions from people online that I watched that have seen, some of the more gruesome elements of the demo since the full game's not out as of this recording, and they thought that while the moves looked good, that they were pretty gruesome, like more gruesome than they were used to, and that they were actually kind of grossed out by just how gruesome they were. And that's kind of how I feel about some games that are released these days. But it's not necessarily just the graphical fidelity of the game itself, because while the visuals do look better and better and better, I can still go back and watch footage on YouTube right now of Manhunt 1 or Manhunt 2, and I am still disturbed on some level by the Manhunt games, because, even though they were released back in, I think, the PS2 days, I think, if I'm correct, the level of violence in that is just... yes, the graphics are outdated, but still, it's disturbing to watch now, and it's kind of strange because back when they came out, I was like, oh, I want to play that game because that game looks cool, and now I'm kind of like, whoa, that is kind of disturbing, actually. Maybe my viewpoints on violence have just become more conservative over the years. I don't really know how to make sense of it, to be honest with you, especially when I can take a comparison of a PS2 game and a Mortal Kombat game that's not even out yet and compare how each one of them I can find disturbing in some way, like the clip in the Mortal Kombat 10 trailer, Mortal Kombat X, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what people, or whatever. Like there's a clip in that trailer where, they reach inside the guy's body and like break his spinal cord in half. To me, that's kind of over the top and it's disturbing, and I don't mean over the top as that it should be banned. It's just over the top, like, whoa, that's pretty intense. That's pretty graphic, but then again, this is Mortal Kombat, so, what do you really expect? Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But like I said, other people seem to be disturbed by certain elements of the new Mortal Kombat as well. I still find disturbing elements of Manhunt, and I'm pretty sure there's other games out there that I can find disturbing elements of as well. But those are just my thoughts. I don't want to run on too long on this video. So with that said, I want to know what you think, especially if you're a gamer that's 25 to 35 and older. Do you think that violent video games have become too violent? Do you think that we are adjusting to the violence? Do you think that violent video games have always been too violent, or do you think that they can never get too violent because they are simulations, even though the simulations are becoming slowly more photorealistic? Give me your thoughts, and let me know if you can relate to anything I said in the video, because I'm sure someone out there can, but I just want to put that out there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe. You might get a chocolate chip cookie, but probably not. Either way, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.